Alright, so today we're not going to do any time trials or anything like that. We're going to ride it fall colors. We got some leaves on the ground, probably going to make things interesting, and they're wet, it looks like. Oh yeah, there's the first slipping. And it makes it hard to follow the trail, because one of the ways I was following the trail before was not by the marks, but by the actual trail itself, which looks damn near the same as the rest of the ground around it now, so it's all good. And then what we're going to do is towards the end today, we're going to take a look at some new stuff we're going to try and add on to this. We only got a few kilometers of this stuff. It's by far the best trail I know of locally. And we want to try and get it a little bit more dialed with maybe some more obstacles. It's slippery. Whew. Yeah, those leaves are causing havoc here. This is going to be fun. Coming back the other way, that's for sure. See, I lost the trail there for a sec. Right there. Oh my gosh, it is slick. And roots and stuff are all hidden right now as well, which is actually the worst part. Roots and rocks. Can't see them. Like these ones here, some big ones there. But this is cool. This fall riding stuff, man. This is pretty awesome. I have started to be able to stand up for much more of this trail, much more of it. Like really happy where I sit when I get on here now. There's a lot of places here at the beginning of the year, my first ride out on this stuff, I was, sitting a lot more. Oh, she is just sliding everywhere. We'll have to see how my favorite downhill goes. It's the off camber to the right. Brutal. Now, interesting enough, I've actually had a couple of flameouts on this bad boy. My first experience with a flameout. So I've just been paying attention a little bit more to what I'm doing with the clutch and the throttle. Don't let it bog down too much. Although I still think by a long shot, this 390 is the best 4-stroke single track motor out there, personally. I don't know, there's a lot of raving about that YZ250X, but my gosh, I can't see it being better than this bad boy with the lugging ability that this motor has. That one's awesome going back the other way. Bet you it'll feel slick today. So unfortunately though, the end where we're going to end today, where I'm going to go take a look, is not ready yet to actually be added to the trail. So we're going to ride it, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty messy, and then unfortunately I can't come back on it the other way. I'm going to have to turn around on the trail. Oh yeah. Get up there, baby! It's just a wicked, man. I still love this trail. If I wouldn't have had this locally, I wouldn't have made any of the improvements that I've made this summer. I wouldn't be riding anywhere near the level I am, which is still not anything to brag about in the grand scheme of things, but tell ya, I'm able to get out and have fun and ride with guys who've been riding a lot longer than I have. You know, they make me look bad sometimes, but you know, at least I can go out with them, you know. Woo! Tight quarters there. Now what I will say about sitting down, and one of the things that I've tried to work on, is I find is if I sit at the right time, but don't, oh this isn't the hill I thought it was. If I sit at the right time for the right reason, it makes sense. What I've noticed is riders who sit and paddle their feet a lot, they're the ones that really do, like they have a hard time. This is the off-camber turn here to the right. Just beats me almost every time. There we go, nice. Because the second you stand up off your bike because you're paddling through rocks or whatever you're doing with your feet, you're taking traction away from your tire. I mean, that's 200 pounds, give or take, winter weight. You know, that is 200 pounds that I'm taking off the rear wheel that could be used to dig in. And I don't know why, but it just like intuitively hit me. I mean, it's not an overly, oh, there's the trail. I couldn't find it for a sec. It's not like I mean, innately you should understand that. But I'd get to these tough sections and paddle my way through them, standing up off the bike and doing whatever I had to do. And realizing the reason I was spinning was because I didn't have any weight on my rear tire. Man, I'm having a hard time following the trail, talking too much, but there we go. So I've been trying to stand a lot more, and if I do have to sit, mostly, if anything, it's about what I'm doing with my weight, not because it's something I'm scared to try standing up. So sometimes it just, I mean, your center of gravity is lower if you're sitting. That's physics. So sometimes it just makes sense to sit. And for any of you guys riding these Beta 4-strokes out there, raise your forks and your clamps. I wish I would have done that at the beginning of the year. And respring them. There's a good climb. Yeah, nice. So I haven't put new springs in my forks yet, but I have put springs in. That's gnarly. I have put a spring on my shock for my weight proper, and without adjusting it, basically just by putting a bit of preload on it, I find my front end is weighted a bit better, and of course at the exact same time I raise my forks and my clamps, but I find my front end is is weighted a bit more. The steering is much more responsive for stuff like this. And unless I'm driving connecting trails, I'm typically not doing super high speed, crazy stuff that like requires a crap load of stability. And I really haven't noticed that much instability anyway when I'm driving on kind of the hard pack between trails. It's not like it's become twitchy or dangerous, but I can definitely feel on the single track a difference. So that section there I almost always used to do sitting down. Not anymore. Oh yeah, it's a good one. That's the fun climb. Nice, okay. All right, and then we're here. All right. And this is where we go down here. And then, at the bottom, instead of going to the road, we are gonna go this way. Gnarly! Oh my gosh. Yeah, it hasn't been beaten down at all. And I don't know where it goes, so I'm also wrestling with that right now. I mean, I know where I've walked it, but so, I think here, what did I do? Oh no, I went up a bit more, okay. Oh my gosh, there's so many wet logs up underneath right now. And then I move this stuff out of the way. And then hard left here. All right, now check this place out. Look at that. So much potential. So much potential. We're hoping to make some advanced kind of climb lines here. Some good ones. There's just escarpment forever. So super cool. And then once you get on top of the escarpment, there's more stuff up there as well. So we're trying to respect the, not do any cutting or anything like that. So, but yeah, this is what it's all about right here, new trail. We got to get, it's a training ground is the way I see it. For other larger areas that are around. I consider this kind of my training area for single track. Master this, build some better obstacles, make it a little bit more difficult every now and then. Alright, let's get after it. Make it up the second climb here, my first try, and I will be happy. Let's go! Come on, goggles, unfog. There we go. Man, I'm going to be pivot turning off of logs in no time. You know what I mean? With a 4-stroke. What do you think of that? Something about the right tool for the job, or I don't know, I heard that somewhere, not sure. Oh, yes. Hello. Yeah, right. All right then. That is slippery. That is slippery. All right, here we go. This is it. Oh! Oh! Yes, sir. Oh my gosh. Front end just dancing. Wicked. Let's go, baby. There's that 390. No problem. No problem. Hey, would anybody disown me if I bought a two-stroke? Oh, you have to see if anybody pays attention or actually watches my videos to catch that comment. Because I am looking hard at that Beta 200 race edition for 2021. I've already ridden a 200, and for some of the stuff I want to do when I'm not on this bike, man, I think it's right up my alley. I also, if I wanted to, could have a line on a 20, non-race edition, but a demo bike that I know is treated extremely well, and it's a demo bike, so it's maintained by the same guy who. The only guy I would bring my bike to, so, the only guy I do bring my bike to. Woo! Nice. Man, the fall is awesome though. This is cool. Almost kicked my front end off there. 45-degree logs, wet. Of course, nothing better. Oh yeah, the mountain goat, no clutch. Didn't slip or anything. Just kept the throttle going. Beauty. Man, oh man. Good to go. Now this one. Lots of traction. Lots of traction. See it pop that front end up? Going back and forth in my head if I want to try a different tire next time other than the Equilibrium, but I tell ya, holy cow, did it ever just make that it's you know what, just schooled that part of the trail. There's no run up to a lot of these little climbs, right? So you got to you basically have no momentum. You would think you might spin out more, but especially on all these wet leaves, but this Equilibrium, man, is just like wants to put the Let's put the front tire sky high on me. A couple times now. Nice, good. Whoa, almost off the trail. I literally could just be out here all day. I could do this over and over and over again and not get bored. You know, go out one way, practice some pivot turns, come back this way, practice some pivot turns. Anyway. That would be my only thing. I would wonder if a different tire would have different braking characteristics. Would kind of be my big question that I would have. Oh, jumping. I'm a bit of a skid and steer type guy, a little bit. I mean, not too much. I obviously am working on whoo! Oh yeah. I need more of that on this trail, that's what I need. Ask and you shall receive. That's what I'm putting on. When I start looking at the end of this trail where we just were to build the trails, there's gonna be some shelves. Beauty. You guys will have to let me know, but isn't it such a cool feeling to be on a trail that maybe at the beginning of the season, you know, felt totally outside of your comfort level, but now you're at the point where, I mean, not only do you really look forward to it, but you know, you're trying to pick up maybe some speed a little bit, maybe hit a slightly different line, change it up. There's still lots of challenge for me on this trail. You know, it's not easy, but I don't know. For me now, I come out here, I have a blast. Just have so much fun. You know, break a sweat, get a workout. Not worried about killing myself, except for right there, when you hit a big rock that's under the leaves. And anybody who's been watching my videos closely, you're going to realize pretty quick that I'm using engine braking a lot more. Definitely a lot more. Using the throttle a lot more to control speed, even on downhills. I was one of those guys that would just yank in the clutch and use the rear brake all the time. But it's something I've consciously been trying to work on. And I find as long as you don't get a whiskey throttle situation, I find personally that I can control the bike better than just yanking in the clutch and locking up the rear brake. There's a time and a place, but not every time. Oh, so rad. And my rear brake is coming. That would be my biggest highlight of the season so far. The fact that in a pivot turn, I'm starting to at least be able to think about using my rear brake. It's a big deal for me right now. And I've kind of officially decided that when I do get to snow bike time frame, I'm going to get rid of the handbrake on that thing And I'm gonna hook it up to the rear brake pedal, because, you know, an entire winter of having no brake except for, like, none, except for engine braking and the rear brake pedal. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's any downsides to it, really. You know, I find in the snow, with a snow bike, I mean, the type of riding I do, I literally use it just to increase my time frame I get to use my bike. Although I really like it. But, I mean, any of the stuff I'm doing is not, I mean, I don't consider it super crazy, where, you know, I would need to have, you know, a handbrake ready to yank on. I find they slow down. The second you come off the throttle on a snow bike, like the second you do, it's almost as if you put the brakes on. It's pretty interesting, actually, from that perspective. Sometimes I love making this thing bark. I think I want to go, I want to get an FMF, a Q4 pipe for it next year, is what I'm thinking of. I mean, I think I'll be ready for it. And that's it! Alright, everybody. It's the end of this short video. Please like and subscribe. Please continue liking and subscribing. Okay? I really appreciate it. Every single person. Leave a comment. Yeah. Until next time.